Hello and welcome. In the previous video, we have seen how to design a simple process in PAM. In this video, we will talk about gateways. I jumped to gateways as opposed to the events because if you want to develop a little bit complex process or to decide in between your process, gateways plays a prominent role in doing that. Gateways are like decision points in your process. So if based on certain conditions met, the gateways will redirect that particular process to that particular flow. With that said, PAM provides you 4 different kinds of gateways. They are your parallel AND gateway, an exclusive gateway, or which is an OR gateway, an inclusive gateway, and finally you have event-based gateway. We're going to look at these gateways now. So the parallel gateway is, as opposed to other gateways, it doesn't require a condition. However, it will wait here. So you see here there are 2 tasks. There's a gateway here. Until both the tasks come here, the gateway will wait, and only once it is done, it will move forward. So there can be n number of splits. Here in this diagram, I showed only 1 task, but there can be like n number of paths can take from here. But the only condition or prerequisite is like all the nodes which are prior to this gate should complete, only then it proceeds forward. Okay, so you can see that all inputs must be received before the process to continue, and no condition can be put in the output. So it's like once it comes to this gateway, it will diverge everything. So it will go to all the paths possible. Next we come to the exclusive or OR gateway. Here it requires one condition. As opposed to parallel gateway, it doesn't wait. It will, once one of them is true, it moves forward. So either task or this task results a true condition here, it will move forward. So if there are several outputs defined, so it can have multiple paths. However, there should be only one true condition. If you have multiple true conditions, this will fail. It will ask you to keep it only one condition. An extension to above 2 gateways, inclusive gateway is like combination of these two. It will wait for all active paths. So here the gateway will wait for both these tasks to complete. However, after the post the gateway, it will only go to the paths which are true. So it's a combination of parallel and an exclusive gate. That's an inclusive gate here. So if you have multiple outgoing transitions, then you should evaluate those conditions to be true. And finally, you have event-based gateway. Event-based gateway works just like your exclusive gateway. However, it works with events as opposed to your data, right? So in the event-based gateway, you see that there are 2 intermediate events, which is a timer type of event or a message event task. The prerequisite is like you should use only intermediate events. You cannot use start event here. So, and whichever event should have only one incoming to it. Right. With that said, we will see how to design this in your business process. So here is a typical parallel process, right? Parallel gateway process. So you have something called diverging gateway. So once I start the process, this particular gateway will trigger it to move both the nodes. So you'll see both these user tasks active, and this gateway will only move forward once both these tasks are completed. So the way you design it is you just drag and drop something like this, and then you choose a gate here, right? Or you may choose from here. You can just drag and drop as usual, right? And then you create a task and another task, and finally you create one more which is a gate, right? A parallel gate here, and then you connect these two, and then finally end, right? The way you get like this is once you hover to this and click on that point, you see icon where you can move these lines. Okay, the first time you might not be able to achieve it clearly, so you see this is the pointer. Once you choose a point, just click on it, just hold the click, and then you can able to drag it. If you just release it, you will not be able to do it. So see that, so you should not release it, you should just hold it. So I'm going to show you one more time. Just click this point and then hold that click and then move it, and only then you can do that. So in that way you can design this. Okay, let me just delete this part. Okay, with that done, let's see how when we run this instance, how it behaves. So I have just configured both this user tasks to be done by RHPAM admin here. Okay, this is the same user. You may choose different user. The way you add external users is you go to your settings here, and in the users group you can create a new user and assign that user to that task. Okay, let me build this project now. I'll build it and then deploy it. So it seems like it's done, and I click on the deployment details, and here is our gateway. So it's deployed. Let's start the parallel gateway process. This is the one, right? This is the one, right? And again, we have a container ID here as well as the process definition ID. Generally, if you want to use any of the key server APIs, which is again your localhost 88 and key server/doc, you'll get this. So if you want to use any of your APIs here, you need a container ID, which would be this one, and your process instance ID, that would be your instance, which is at this point there is no instance, so you don't see it. Once you create an instance, you get an ID, right? This would be your ID for this one. The correlation key, generally, if you don't give any specific business, I mean like any key, it will default to the process instance ID. You may choose to give your own specific ID so that you can filter it. Right, so right now I did not do that. Let's see the diagram. So as expected, it went to both the nodes and both of them are active. Right, you may choose to click on this instance badges so that you know like how many times the node came in, etc. So at this point, in this gateway, it says 2 because it moved to 2 parts here. So behind the scenes, although it looks like a parallel, it happens at the same time. Behind the scenes, logically it is like parallel, but if you think in the technical perspective, this parallel gateway works like 2 times. So that's why you see a 2 icon here. So it first went this side and then this side, because it is so instantaneous, you don't see that it is happening twice. But behind the scenes, it's a sequential. Engine works like that, but diagram perspective, it splits the path into 2 ways. So just remember that contrast here. The engine actually works like a sequence flow, however it is quicker. It like immediately does both. So you'll see that to be diverging here. Okay, let's complete this now. I go to menu and task inbox. You'll see the tasks here only if that task is assigned to the logged in username. So we know that we have assigned these 2 tasks to RHPAM admin. So you can see task inbox here. I click on task inbox and you have 2 tasks, right? So I'll just acquire and complete it. Start and complete. Now let's get back to the instance and see whether the gateway is waiting or not. So if I see, although it completed, it is still waiting for this one to complete. So this is what parallel gateway. It will wait for all the nodes to reach to this point. Only then it moves forward. So let's get back and complete that particular other task, which is this one. I'm going to start and complete. Right, so it's done. Let's get to instances. And you see that active is done. And you see the completed. Here is the one which we completed. So it went through both the paths. Right, this is the instance number. So I was talking about the way to filter it, right? You can filter it with the correlation key. If you remember, we were using some correlation key earlier, but here in this you are not seeing it. The way you add it is you may choose to add correlation key here, and there you go, you see the correlation. So this is one way to filter your IDs if you have a lot of instances, and if you want to only extract specific process IDs, then you may choose to do that. So you just filter it here and click apply, and then you see that it is completed and your correlation key. So you can extract the specific instances of which you are interested.